Meeting is now called to order. We thank you all for joining us in this frigid January. And we now ask for our fearless leader, Father Jack Clair, for our opening prayer.
Let us pray. Loving God, on these cold, cold days of winter, we ask you to help to warm our hearts. Help us to have hearts that are filled with joy, even in the darkness of these days. Help us to celebrate life, even in moments that may be a little bit chilling. We thank you for the blessings that are ours. Continue to watch over all of our staff especially. Keep them in your loving care. Watch over our residents and bless them with good health. We offer this prayer through Christ our Lord. Amen.
We would like to thank Jim Caprero for his considerable time and great talent in creating the videos, recording a large part of the presentations, and creating this virtual meeting for all of us to enjoy.
The first order of business is to discuss the board and several committees' proposed amendments to the MFA bylaws. The board is engaged in a process for the last several months where we and committee members have reviewed the bylaws closely and incorporated input from all board members. The amended bylaws are now in accord with our current procedures, and here is a recap of the major changes which we are proposing.
The MFA chair term has been changed back to 2 years, which has been the standard for many years. When the reorganization took place creating the foundation, the MFA was given a permanent director position on the foundation, which is to be held by an immediate past chair of the MFA board. Because the directors of the foundation serve 3-year terms, the MFA board chair term was extended to 3 years. This meant that the MFA chairs had a 7-year commitment, serving 1 year as chair-elect, 3 years as chairs, and then 3 years on the MFA board as past chairs, and simultaneously 3 years as directors of the foundation. While our proposed change will not affect our 3-year term, the board has decided that a 2-year term is in the best interest of the MFA, both in terms of encouraging MFA members to accept the position and in terms of fresh eyes on the job.
Other proposed changes to the bylaws include changing the title of the membership chairs to membership and volunteering to reflect their significant responsibilities for recruiting volunteers for staff appreciation and other major events. Also, eliminating the position of legislative affairs from our board in recognition of the fact that the home spearheads and coordinates legislative affairs initiatives on behalf of Misericordia. The MFA will continue to support every legislative initiative when requested by the home. And also, we have added a provision that all family members are welcome to attend MFA meetings and events, and that each family will have 1 vote.
We'd like to express our appreciation also to Lisa and Barry Cruz, who are currently serving as reps at large on our board. They have worked tirelessly with us to solicit feedback, incorporate the changes, and create the new and improved bylaws document.
Following this meeting, you will receive an email with a link for you to see the proposed amendments specifically, and a link to ballot for you to cast to vote for or against the proposed amendments. Your board recommends strongly a vote in favor of the amendments, and we appreciate your support. Please return the ballot by February 9th.
The more exciting part of our report is to let you all know of the tremendous success of the Holiday Staff Gift Fund campaign. Recruiting, rewarding, and retaining quality staff is our top priority, and providing year-end bonuses is one of our most important missions. At the end of 2024, we were able to give our staff $275,000, which is $50,000 more than the previous year. We are profoundly grateful to each of you who contributed so generously. And now we'd like to introduce Kay Lunkes and Ellen Malone, our benefit chairs, to kick off Benefit 2025.
Hi, I'm Kay Lunkes,
And I'm Malone.
and we're your Misericordia Family Association benefit chairs for 2025. We couldn't be more thrilled to announce this year's soiree at the United Club in Soldier Field on Thursday, June 26th from 5:30 to 9. Yes, we know it's a school night, but we promise it's worth it. This isn't your father's benefit, and it's definitely not your mother's idea of a benefit either. This is the Misericordia Family and Friends benefit, and we want you to bring your family, your friends, and their friends, and yes, their friends too, to celebrate and support Misericordia's incredible heroes. This evening kicks off with delicious drinks and bites. Imagine savoring the culinary delights of Levy Brothers, a name synonymous with extraordinary dining at iconic venues. Their world-class hospitality will set the perfect tone for our special night. We'll take a moment to honor our heroes, the Misericordia staff, who dedicate themselves every single day to creating a loving, high-quality environment for our residents. These amazing direct support professionals are more than caregivers. They're best friends, companions, and true family to our loved ones. We couldn't do this without them, so let's make sure they feel the love.
You and your guests will have plenty of time to explore, enjoy, and indulge. Picture this, getting up close to the playing field, marveling at its grandeur, seeing your name or company up on the Jumbotron as part of our sponsorship video, and then dancing the night away under the stunning colonnades overlooking beautiful Lake Michigan. We'll have all the fun you can handle. When it comes to partying, let's be honest, there's no party like a Misericordia party. It's going to be unforgettable. Now, making an event like this so amazing takes planning, teamwork, and yes, you. Talk it up, spread the word far and wide. Let everyone know that this event is something special. Soldier Field is iconic, and this benefit is bursting with energy and heart. Even those hard to convince folks who don't do social events will buzz about this night. So start planning now. Invite your friends, family, co-workers, and anyone else who should feel the warmth of being part of Misericordia's magic. Want to know more or get involved? The website has everything you need. www.mfabenefit.org. Also, mark your calendars for Collection Sunday, April 13th. This is where we'll gather gift cards, sell raffle tickets, and collect silent auction items. We ask you to think outside the box, find something truly unique to help our silent auction better than ever. And don't forget to secure sponsors for the benefit book. Every contribution helps us make this event the best ever and supports Misericordia, our loved ones home away from home.
Let's make 2025 a year to remember. It's time to represent the MFA. Thank you for your support, and we can't wait to see you there. Here are Connie and Rick Nash to tell you how to become a benefit sponsor.
Hello, we are the Nash family. I'm Rick, and this is Ryan.
And this is
Angie.
And I'm Connie. Rick and I are the chairpersons for the sponsorship committee for this year's Misericordia Family Association benefit. As you all know, Misericordia needs to raise millions of dollars each year just to balance the budget. Recently, Father Jack Clair told us that the deficit between what the government pays and what it costs to run Misericordia is over $30 million a year. No one fundraiser can hope to make up that large of a deficit, but the MFA benefit is one of the most important fundraising events of the year. Every family is asked to help in some way, especially by making a donation or by becoming an MFA sponsor.
Sponsorships for this year's MFA benefit begin at $5,000 and go up from there. Last year we had over 60 families who were able to help out at one of the sponsorship levels. On the MFA benefit website, there's an explanation in detail of each of the sponsorship levels. Each of these sponsorship levels comes with special recognition, but we all know that it's not the recognition that really matters. It's the love that all of us have for our family members who call Misericordia home. We need your support in any way possible, but we especially need the support of families who are able to donate to this year's MFA benefit at one of the sponsorship levels. We also encourage families to help us identify individuals and businesses who may be willing to help us by donating and or becoming a corporate sponsor of this year's MFA benefit. If you are able to suggest a potential new sponsor, just contact Connie and I, and we will work with you to secure the sponsorship. Your family will receive credit for any revenue generated by sponsors that you suggest. You can call us at 847-651-8718 or by email at sponsorship@m-f-a.org. Please help us make this year's MFA benefit the best and most successful ever!
Geana Connelly, Vice President of People, Strategy, and Culture, and our new liaison from Misericordia to the MFA, will now provide some important updates about Misericordia.
Good morning. Today, I will be sharing with you some quick social service reminders, and I will walk you through our Rosemary Park and Misericordia expansion projects. Let's start with our social service reminders. Last October, you all received a letter from Father Jack asking you to complete a family involvement form. This letter contained a link to a survey that asked for critical information related to our involvement expectations, along with specific information for future planning purposes. If you have not completed this, please do so after this meeting. If you no longer have the letter and need access to the link, please reach out to your social service coordinator. Misericordia is also asking that all staffings return to in-person. This is a once-a-year requirement that allows the resident to be fully celebrated and for families to further connect with our staff. Also, as a result of the uptick in illnesses, we will be extending masking until March 1, 2025. We do ask that if you are entering a residential area, that you please comply with wearing a mask. Finally, in order to ensure families are getting communications, it is important that you let us know of any contact information changes. This would include things like emails, addresses, phone numbers, etc. Please email family contact updates at Misericordia to share any changes going forward. Next, I will be providing updates on Misericordia's growth. In preparation for Rosemary Park and our Scylla expansion, which by the way is allowing us to bring in almost 150 new residents, the first step involved streamlining our admission process. COVID prevented us from admitting any residents for over 2 years, which created many challenges. Individuals may have started observations, but as a result of COVID and then the staffing crisis, this process was halted. As a result, our entire admission process has been overhauled. We moved to an electronic platform for all applicants. Prior to this, all applications were on paper, making it very hard to do any data analytics. We changed our language to eliminate the use of the term waitlist, since this seemed to be confusing. Many families thought that by completing an application, they were considered on the waitlist, which was not always the case. We now use the term applicant pool with defined stages for families so they understand where they are in the process. Next, we worked with all residential areas to look at every home and who is being served in that home. At this time, we reviewed the physical, medical, behavioral, emotional, and social needs of each resident. We also considered the future needs as well. As we gathered this information, we used this to identify the new home profiles for Rosemary Park. That being said, Rosemary Park will make up a very diverse community. We have identified homes that will meet the needs of individuals that are aging but might not require the same level of care as Quinlan. We have homes for residents that are non-ambulatory, homes for residents that need a smaller census, homes that may require higher levels of nursing care, and homes that are designed to support higher levels of independence. So to give you a quick overview, there are many variables that we considered during our overall expansion, including our SILAs. 30% of our population is over the age of 50. Almost 200 of our 600 applicants have a diagnosis of autism. 40% of our current population requires some level of behavioral or emotional support, and the overall highest residential need is within the severe to moderate areas. Next, I'm going to go over the steps that will need to take place for Rosemary Park to open in order to be licensed and certified for full occupancy. To be clear, there are many steps from start to finish of this project. As a reminder, there are 16 homes that will serve 6 to 8 individuals. Through this process, There are 3 surveys that have to take place for all of our homes. The first is a life safety and construction survey through IDPH. With this survey, there may be corrections with construction of the homes which require the surveyors to return at a later date to further evaluate the corrections and ensure we are in full compliance. Once we are in full compliance, the next survey with IDPH takes place, which looks for home readiness. They basically want to know that the home is ready to move in from an operational standpoint. Once we pass this survey, we will receive a probationary license, which allows us to begin phase 1 of admissions, bringing in half of the projected census in each home. We have 4 phases of this project with 4 homes within each phase. After these 3 to 4 individuals are in the home and living life, IDPH will do the 3rd survey to ensure we are following the regulations and we are meeting the certification standards. Once we pass this survey, we are considered certified and we are able to move in the 3 to 4 other residents in those homes in phase 1. So while this process is a process that we need to follow in order for the houses to be fully certified and occupied, we have many barriers in front of us. First, we have identified an ideal timeline, but this is totally dependent on IDPH's availability. Observations of our existing residents that may be moving and observations of our new applicants will take time to identify the correct and final census in every home. And we need to secure staff not only for Rosemary Park, but also the entire organization. Next steps. So I'm sure many families today are wondering, what does this mean for my loved one? As we go forward, if it is recommended that a resident move to a new area to better meet their needs, the first step will be for us to have a conversation with the family to help them understand the why behind this recommendation. It is our goal to partner with families regarding each of the decisions. However, each decision impacts future decisions, so this is not an easy process. We recognize we may not always get it right. However, we are working to make decisions that are right for each individual, the home, and the organization. That being said, we will need a lot of patience through this process due to the many moving pieces it takes to complete the scope of this project. We are actively preparing for the first step, probationary licensing, and getting the home in order to begin when IDPH is ready. We are also working to leverage new and existing employee talent through many different recruitment and retention strategies. Finally, we want you to know that we are committed to ensuring each admission or transfer is individualized and the resident stays at the center of our work. The counseling team has created a variety of resources to help new residents acclimate to our new community, but we also have resources for our QIDPs to use with our current residents today to help them through the potential changes in their home as well. So again, we thank you for your patience through this entire process.
Hayes Kennedy, our new Vice President of Human Resources, will discuss staffing.
Good afternoon, and thank you for allowing me to spend a little bit of time here with you today. My name is Hayes Kennedy, and I actually joined Misericordia here back in September of 2024 as the HR lead for the organization. Today I'm going to talk about a couple key priorities I think that we have both current and going forward. And what I'm going to discuss today is a number of topics around our recruitment processes and what we're doing to improve, enhance, and accelerate that process. And the second piece is I'm going to be talking a little bit about some efforts that we're taking around retention. So once we get our employees on board, how do we make sure we're maintaining them for the long haul? But to take a step back, when I did start, I met with Father Jack and he laid out the priorities, and I found it very interesting because there were 6. And it was retention, 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 and it was recruitment, recruitment, and recruitment. So it was pretty clear where our key focus is going to be, and for obviously with all of the needs that we see in the organization with our current talent and bringing it in, but also with the expansion that we're seeing with Rosemary Park, how we prepare our organization for that to meet the needs of the residents, the families, and of course our team members here at Misericordia. As I look at that, I think it was really important that we really understand our current needs within the organization, but also looking at a longer term perspective. And then data analytics. It's somewhat challenging to get the data right now within Misericordia, so we have so many dispersed ways to pull it through, but really understanding where our challenges are and where our issues are, looking at the data, it begins to tell us a story. And also, I think as we continue to really address this challenge that we have here, we need to balance this monumental task that we have in front of us along with really kind of reflection. And that is taking a moment to say, here's where we were, here's where we are right now, and here's where we're going, because sometimes it can become become too cumbersome where you're not seeing the improvements that you're making organizationally. So that moment of reflection is critically important as we continue to drive our talent here at Misericordia. As we think about it, I want to take a look back at 2024, and it's kind of interesting just looking at some statistics, just so as you can kind of get a sense of the overall flow of applicants. We've had approximately a little over actually 6,500 applicants apply for jobs here at Misericordia in the 2024 year. And of that 6,500 or so folks, 54% of them were considered for consideration for possible roles. In addition, 56% of that amount was actually scheduled for interviews. So when you think about the number of interviews that were going on, and 30% of those individuals were actually sent on for second interviews. And of that group, we ended up hiring 63% of those folks, or approximately 340 people that were hired in 2024. And when you think about those statistics, it really was a heavy lift for the organization to get those great accomplishments. However, we still find ourselves continually chasing this retention side of the equation. However, we've been putting efforts in place to drive retention down, and I'll cover those in a few minutes, but just as a point, since August, our retention vacancy rate, and that is your actual approved headcount versus what our current vacancies are, has been reduced by 62%. So that's a significant shift in our vacancy rate in a positive direction. And also in workforce planning, we needed to make sure we were setting very aggressive targets. So I've challenged my team here that we need to be bringing on to the organization no less than 60 new hires a month. So when you think about that from a standpoint based on our 340 hires we had, that's almost a twofold increase in the number of people that we're going to want to hire in 2025. So how we do that, obviously that's going to be a challenge. In addition to that, as we look in 2025, we've got to prepare for Rosemary Park. So in addition to our current vacancies, just in direct care and CNA positions alone, we're looking at having to hire about 145 individuals for the 4 phases, which we'll be introducing our first 2 houses here in phase 1 here towards the end of February. So there's a current process underway to identify our talent, both internally, people who have expressed interest to come over to Rosemary Park, but also augmenting them with our new hires that are coming in from the classes. And in order to meet that demand, I looked at our team and all the hard work that they did, and we felt that we needed to kind of augment that a bit. So what we did was we built out our recruitment and talent acquisition team with additional resources to help in this lift. In addition to that, to add a secondary set of arms, so to speak, we went out and recruited 3 supplemental agencies to help us support our staffing needs back in October of 2024. And we're seeing successes with that, but I would tell you as well, our recruitment team is the one that's carrying the lion's share of all of that activity base, and they're doing a phenomenal job. The other thing that we have to look at is our processes. And as we looked at our recruitment processes, you always have to look at areas where you can kind of streamline the process and build speed and efficiency. I would tell you with the war on talent that we're experiencing right now, the biggest challenge that we have is speed. And if we are slow to hire somebody, they're going to be hired by somebody else. So speed is essential for us. So we looked at taking cumbersome processes out of our recruitment process to speed that up. And also, as we think about it, it's one thing bringing the talent into the organization. What we have to also do, which is critically important, is how do we keep people? And we, not unlike any other organization out there, we're experiencing retention challenges, be it driven from the outcomes of COVID, the change in workforce dynamics, et cetera. There's a lot of different reasons people articulate on that. But quite frankly, what we have to do is not worry about what it is that others are seeing, but how can we really address it here within Misericordia? So one of the things that we did was we actually looked at 2 critical roles, our supervisors and Qs, and how we attract that talent. So we actually adjusted those start rates up so we could get a better pool and a higher flow of applicants coming into those particular positions. Also in looking at that, one of the things that we did a lot of work with over the last several months is putting together a total compensation philosophy as well as a structure. And really this structure helps provide identified career paths that our employees can see. So when they're looking to grow within the organization, they can see a path of growth that perhaps was not available to them before. And that does help on the retention side. In addition to the retention of from those elements, one of the things that you look at is data analytics. And when we began to look at our turnover rates and so forth, we noticed that, no less than, I would say, 64% of all of our turnover that's happening at Misericordia is happening with individuals with less than 1 year of service. So the efforts that we're doing to bring people in, we're losing them almost as quickly. The other thing is, if you look at that particular statistic, when you look at the 5-month time frame, that's a critical time frame. If we can keep our employees here for the first 5 months, their longer term retention increases exponentially. So what I asked the team to do and what we've implemented here to help augment that concern is that we've introduced an enhanced retention bonus, where if individuals stay through that 5th month, there's a significant compensation bonus that they can receive that will keep them within the organization. And hopefully, as we see the statistics going longer term, when we get them here for the 5 months, we can actually keep them within the organization, which hopefully will help there. And another area I think on retention is really a key focus on recognition, engagement, and our development of our people. When people see us investing in them in their careers and recognizing them for the things that they are doing, that actually creates what I call dinner table conversation. And that's when you're going home and saying, something really nice happened to me today. And that goes a long way to having people want to stay with an organization. So as you look at that, in our challenges that we have, we've got insurmountable challenges. And in my closing, I'd just like to say these challenges ahead that we're facing with respect to our talent, our retention, and our ongoing development of our people. But we're all positioned very well, I think, to meet those challenges in keeping with our mission for our residents, our families, and the Misericordia team. So I just want to thank you very much for the time that you've given me here today, and have a great day. Thank you.
Next, we will hear from Laurie Daugherty, our new Vice President of Residential Services in charge of the Village, Rosemary Park, and Shannon Apartments.
My name is Laurie Daugherty, and I'm a healthcare executive with over 15 years of experience driving strategic growth, operational excellence, and innovation in healthcare administration and community services. I have a proven track record of leading multi-million-dollar budgets, fostering high-performing teams, and implementing trauma-informed care initiatives to enhance the quality of lives for individuals and communities. My leadership style emphasizes servant leadership, collaboration, and data-driven strategies to achieve impactful outcomes. I have recently joined Misericordia Heart of Mercy as the Vice President of Residential Services, where I will be leading efforts to provide exceptional residential care for individuals within our organization. With the focus of aligning services with the organization's mission goals, I am dedicated to enhancing program quality, supporting staff development, and fostering innovation in service delivery. It is my hope that my passion for improving lives and commitment to excellence will make me a valuable asset to the team. Outside of my professional commitments, I am a dedicated and busy mom of 3 children. I value quality time with my family and enjoy traveling and fitness and reading. Whether leading initiatives at work or spending time at home, my passion for making a positive impact remains at the core of everything I do. Thank you.
Steve Achilles has recently been brought on board to Misericordia as Vice President of Business Operations. Here's Steve.
Hello, I'm Steve Achilles, the new Vice President of Business Operations at Misericordia, and I am blessed to be a part of such a special organization. Misericordia is an organization that stands among the best in the country at serving people with disabilities. In my role as the VP of Business Operations, I have 3 primary responsibilities. The first is to help expand the strength of our brand through our businesses. The second is to improve the performance of our businesses. And thirdly, and most importantly, is to provide great jobs and learning opportunities for the residents here at Misericordia. Across our businesses, we have over 60 residents working today, doing customer service, working in the bakery, and a variety of other jobs. Each job is more than a task. As many of you know from the children that you have here, it's a chance to grow and it's a chance to be part of the community. And in our society, work is such an important part of being a member of our greater Chicago community. Think about Michael a lot. I heard his story my second day here. He began working in the bakery and he struggled a bit. But after a few months, as he got better, he moved to the front of the house. And he was taking orders and using the cash register and doing a great job. And today he's at Culver's. And every day he changes the minds of a member of our community to understand what is possible for people with developmental disabilities. In my previous role, I led a nonprofit that also had a series of businesses that we ran. We had hundreds of people employed in community jobs and in our businesses. But we've always been especially proud of the fact that the organization provided products that were on every Daimler truck made in North America. And we were one of the less than 0.5% to receive the Masters of Quality Award. And that was a demonstration and really changed that entire organization's view of what is possible for people with developmental disabilities. It meant scores of people getting jobs that they never would have hired. It changed the culture of an organization. And we look forward to doing the same thing here at Misericordia. I've already been asked many times about future goals, and it's a little early for that. But I do want you all to rest assured that our businesses will always be rested and founded in our 4 pillars: quality of life, spirituality, community, and sustainability. We will ensure that all of our businesses perform well, but more importantly, creating individuals the opportunity to grow, to learn, and to be a part of the community. So I want to thank all of you who volunteer. I've had a chance to meet just a few of you, and I look forward to meeting many of you in the weeks and months to come. And many of you have been kind enough to share your thoughts about what we do well and what we could do better in our businesses. And I look forward to having many more conversations in the weeks and months to come. Thank you for the opportunity to be a part of the community, and thank you for all you do for Misericordia.
Next, we will hear from Lois Gates about Candy Days.
Hello, my name is Lois Gates. Most of you know me, but for those of who don't, I warmly welcome you to the Misericordia Family Association. On April 25th and 26th, we will celebrate our 40th anniversary of Misericordia Candy Days. This Ruby anniversary is a testament to 4 decades of loyal support from you, our loving and devoted families. Traditionally, Candy Days was testimony on the streets, sidewalks, train stations, storefronts, churches, and any and all real estate that granted us permission. By our very presence, we gave witness to the people of the Chicagoland area and, of course, our neighboring suburbs as well. We, my family and friends, have evolved. When COVID took over our lives, we turned to our computers and created family pages to spread the mission of our beloved Misericordia. Yes, we could solicit to so many more people than those who passed our corners. This turned out to be genius. We could reach so many people for more than just pocket change and dollar bills. We speak to you today to challenge you to create your own pages, perhaps for the first time, and make a real difference. Remember, you can sit at home in your PJs and make a significant impact, reaching extended family and friends across the country. Today, I am going to introduce to you my colleague and friend who is the mother of her lovely daughter, Paige, with special needs. Vanja St. Clair will take the lead for our Candy Days efforts for 2025. We are so blessed to have Vanja as part of our team. Quoting Sister Rosemary, we have the best family organization in the country. I am counting on you, each of you, to give it your all, and as always, to sincerely thank you for walking this journey with me. I am deeply indebted. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. I'm so honored and excited to help lead Candy Days this year and to partner with all of you. Within 24 hours, you'll be receiving an e-blast containing all the instructions necessary to set up a donations page, including a link to our FrontStream platform where all of our donation pages are created and housed. It will also contain information on how to contact our tremendous support team should you require their assistance. They are happy to even set up your page for you or help if you are experiencing a challenge in simply swapping out a photo. Once you have created your page and are provided the link to it, pasting that link on Facebook or Instagram, in example, is such a great way to reach family, friends, neighbors, and colleagues across the country. They will also have the ability to forward your post onto anyone they know who may be interested in making a donation to Ms. When it comes to Candy Days, please remember that no donation is too small. They all add up so nicely. Historically, I know we all associate Candy Days with the month of April. However, you will be able to start setting up your page as soon as tomorrow to get a nice jump start if you like. We do encourage everyone to set up pages early in case you run into any challenges and need assistance, and to give yourself enough time to reach out to all of your potential donors. We'll be having some fun raffles for those who get their pages underway on or before St. Patrick's Day. In addition, similar to our focus on expanding our number of collection pages, we're also excited to expand our collection efforts out in our communities with our aprons and collection cans this year. Our friends at Jelly Belly will once again be supplying the candies we will be distributing in exchange for a donation. We'll be out collecting in the Chicago Loop on Wednesday, April 23rd, and on Friday and Saturday, April 25th and 26th, we will be across the remainder of the city and suburbs. It's important to note that we no longer stand out in traffic for safety reasons. However, we've seen great success collecting in front of retailers, restaurants, and other high traffic locations. This year, we will be organizing all of our Candy Days collection volunteers in Sign Up Genius. Paul Schwartz does an excellent job with that approach for Family Fest, and we will be using it for Candy Days moving forward as well. Sign Up Genius also allows us to easily share information with all of our coordinators and volunteers. We've already started to organize our regions and are in the process of reaching out to those who have helped coordinate in the past. Should you have interest in being a coordinator or have an idea that's worked well in the past or even a new one, please reach out to me. My contact information appears below. I would absolutely love to connect with you. Thank you so very much for your partnership. We're looking forward to a fun and very successful Candy Day season for Misericordia.
And next we welcome Father Jack, President of Misericordia Home.
Hello, everyone. I'm just delighted to reach out to the MFA again. Actually, we're filming this a few days ahead of time. I just came from Bob Erlenbaugh's funeral, which was a sad, sad time. Bob and his wife, Madge, have so generously for, I think, 22 years now, been total givers to Misericordia. We tried to hire them, sister and I, many times, and they wouldn't hear of it. They really wanted to be a volunteer here. So as those of you who have been touched by them know, they have done countless things with the choir, the heart singers. They have been involved in McGowan in their sing-alongs in Marion Center and going over to perform at Macaulay. So they really have had an effect all over the community. Bob has been struggling with cancer and then suffered some heart setbacks. And so he was grateful, I think, to let go the other day. And Madge was grateful for the many years that they shared together. And so it is with great confidence that we entrust him to the Lord and thank him for his dedication to Misericordia. As we gather today, there's a few things I would especially like. I've said it before, but it's so terribly important when you have something that you're concerned about or worried about, especially with your child, that you come to the right people. So often I hear things and they're like third round gossip, and there's nothing you can really do about that. But if you would come to the right people, whether that's the supervisor, the administrator of the area, whoever it might be, just to share whatever the concern is, and we gladly try to look at it and address it if we can. It's not helpful to just have conversations that we are not a part of, because we can't correct anything if it just goes on outside. So please, if you have some concerns or worries, please bring them to us so that we can look at them and seriously try to figure out what's the best way to move forward. We are excited that we are getting closer to Rosemary Park opening. We hope to open our first 2 homes at the end of February. So today we began looking at hiring the staff, not hiring, they're here, bringing the staff to the first 2 homes. The residents have been chosen, so we'll be reaching out to people to let them know who will be going into those first 2 homes. The homes will have a variety of purposes, so they'll be different than any other area we currently have on campus. Some will be pre-Quinlan homes, other homes will be like the Village, other homes will be for non-ambulatory people. So they're based on the waiting list and the needs that we have all over campus. And so there'll be many people involved in the administration of these homes. So we'll be working hard. It will take us about 8 months to open them, but the date that we're asking you to remember is September 13th. The Cardinal has given us that date, which is the Saturday after our festival, when he'd like to come and dedicate those homes, as well as the Besser home, as well as any Scylla homes we have not done at that point, and the Maslin Recreation Center. So we'll be doing all of those properties on the 13th. We didn't pick the date, it was in the Cardinal's calendar. So he was hopeful that he could do it, and he thought it would be helpful if it was close to the fest. So we're hoping that those of you who are not donors of houses will be able to come and help us. So once again, we're reaching out to you to be there if you can help support us as servers or parkers or whatever it might be. I know it's the week after the fest, but you're always so generous in responding, and we wouldn't have these homes if it weren't for the good people who have financially made it possible. So to them, we are deeply grateful, but to all of you who help us to make it all work, it is really a gift. I think through these tapes today, you'll meet a couple of other people. Laurie Daugherty has come to us. Laurie is the second vice president for residential. Laurie comes to us with great background. She began herself as a DSP and has moved up through the ranks. And I've worked quite a bit with her. She seems to be a smart, articulate young lady. She will have the Village, Shannon Apartments, and Rosemary Park. Chris Haig-Krakenberger will keep the other areas, and Madeline will keep Macaulay. So that's how it is split up, and so you know who your person is. I have great confidence in Laurie. I think she'll be a great gift to Misericordia. The other person that we hired comes to us from Portland, Oregon, Steve Achilles. Steve was hired to kind of be in charge of all of our businesses. As you know, Misericordia has many businesses, everything from the gift shops to the restaurants to the cafes, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So his job will be to work with all of those. His livelihood, he spent building businesses. So he understood what it was to do the business end of things. And then in Portland, after he decided he had kind of done what he could do in the business world, he went to work at a place that provided jobs for people with disabilities. And so he came to us from there. He had moved to Chicago. He and his wife decided to come here. Their child moved here to Chicago. So they thought they'd come to Chicago. They knew of Misericordia already, which was great. And we were looking for this person, and he seemed to fit it so beautifully. He's only been here a few weeks, and already I can see the wheels turning as I've been meeting with him. He has lots of good ideas. All of the areas, as we face them now, have people in them that have been there for a long time, many of whom are facing retirement. So we're looking at a lot of changeover, which is a constant part of Misericordia. I know Mary Pat has already gone, and Lois has written to you. These are all people that have decided to end their careers at Misericordia and move on to their family life and to do more things. And we're so grateful for their time, but we need new people to come in and step up into their places. And so we're so grateful to both Laurie and Steve and the others who will be coming. Lily is planning on retiring in March in the restaurant, so we'll be bringing someone in there. Nancy, as you know, retired from the gift shop a while ago, so we'll be bringing someone in there. So it's a constant turnover of things, but we're meeting wonderful people who are very interested in Misericordia and very interested in working with our residents. So as we work through the many rules that apply to our residents that the government puts on us, we will figure it out and hopefully do a good job of keeping all these businesses going. We're so grateful for all that has been accomplished, and we will continue to keep you updated on the Notre Dame study that has been going on in terms of campus renewal that will take place probably over the next 8 to 10 years. The first thing that will happen will be enlarging the restaurant and gift shop, which is a plan we had during COVID that we never really accomplished. So with all that was going on with COVID and the changes, it would have been an ideal time because the restaurant was already closed. But with sister stepping down and me coming up, it was kind of a difficult time to have a major construction project going on. So we're looking at that, and we have had a meeting with you, Connelly, already to look at that, and then we'll move on to the Notre Dame study from there. So that's about all our news. We're just praying that the weather stays well, that our residents stay healthy. Madeline, who is in charge of clinical services, has extended the masking for another month. We're delighted that it has really helped. 2 years ago, we had 49 people in December that had COVID. This past year, we had just one. So we know that it is really helping, and we are way down this year in terms of our numbers again. So we just feel that it's important for the masking when we're around residential areas to have it going on to keep everyone safe and healthy. So thank you so much for all your support. God bless you, and we look forward to a great year for 2025.
We are pleased to welcome Sister Rosemary, who will share her thoughts.
Good afternoon. I would like to take this opportunity to thank each and every one of you present here today. I have always believed that our family association is the best in the country. You show your gratitude with your presence, with volunteering, and sharing our Misericordia mission with others. God has asked a lot of you and your families, and you have answered the call. You remain dedicated to your family member in so many beautiful ways. As we begin the new year, I thank you. Please make this a time to renew your commitment to Misericordia. We need to continue to raise funds and awareness through our Candy Days efforts, both online and in the community. I look forward to this year's benefit in June at the new location. We are changing and growing at Misericordia, and thank you for continuing to be an ambassador for us. Knowing we walk this journey together gives me confidence and hope for the future. I can always count on you. God bless you all, and thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Our final order of business is both a pleasure and a sad goodbye to Mary Pat O'Brien, who retired as of December 31st this year.
From the day Mary Pat O'Brien began working at Misericordia South in 1977, she became integral to the leadership team. Over her 47 years here, she led social services, navigated complex licensing issues, got the village up and running, oversaw the admission process for new residents, steered us through the turbulent waters of COVID, and served as the invaluable liaison from administration to the MFA. Before the recent reorganization into the foundation and the home, every aspect of residential services was her direct responsibility. As Father Jack pointed out at our October meeting, much of what is Misericordia today exists because of Mary Pat. All of us appreciate not only Mary Pat's ability to manage so many issues at once to create the beautiful world of Misericordia for our loved ones, but also the way in which she did it without ever wanting to be in the spotlight. Quiet strength, acceptance, compassion, deep caring, and the confidence that any challenge would be met. Mary Pat, we will miss you terribly for your decades of service, for your leadership, and for the gift of yourself, which you shared so graciously with all of us for so many years. We are forever grateful.
The mission of Misericordia is to provide a quality life, one that's worth living, to our residents, and to offer peace of mind to families, knowing that in the continuum of care, our residents will receive love through their lives, and to provide and create a positive environment for our staff. The latter happens enabling the former to be a reality. Mary Pat, certainly you're the inspiration of our mission. For over 50 years, you've given yourself sacrificially to make a difference in the lives of our residents and the lives of our staff and blessing our families. You're the gift to us that makes the mission real and alive and foundational to Misericordia's future. Thank you for who you are and what you've given. I've been asked to give a blessing in your name, so let us pray. Almighty God, we thank you for the life, the ministry, the sacrifice and work of Mary Pat O'Brien. Bless her in these years ahead, in her retirement, to give your abundant blessing to her. Christmas is the joy of the world. Epiphany is the light of the world. Mary Pat, you have been a joy to Misericordia and a light to the life that we have. God bless you now and always. Now, from the bottom of our hearts, thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us. I'd like to close with a portion of a blessing called The Year as a House from Jan Richardson. Let it be here that safety will rest. Let it be here that health will make its home. Let it be here that peace will show its face. Let it be here that love will find its way. We wish you all a healthy and joyful new year.
And the meeting is now adjourned.